last night. This night, where are we? So I started a new project, which was dumb, kind of, but I did work on previously. So it's like the worst. Um, but can't multitask for shit. You know this. I'm not surprised. And I know this is like the complete opposite time that I normally go live. So if nobody comes to it, I will understand. Um, what I did a little bit of is I worked on the uh, pattern testing that I'm working on for um, Winter Nightmare Crochet. So, so because I'm doing pattern testing, I can't really show anything for that. But I'm doing it, chugging along slowly but surely. I don't know why I'm going so slowly on that because I'm like trying to move faster on that, but my ability to like go faster on it is just not kicking into gear. What's wrong with my brain? I mean, I there's a lot wrong with my brain. I don't have fucking time to do that. Um, I'm not manic anymore. If you haven't noticed, even though the lack of sleep would probably indicate otherwise. Uh, yeah, I don't think that I just think it was a weird sleep night. So I have I have three um almost three full cakes of this yarn from oh my gosh, it's really close. Sleep deprivation will fuck with you in so many ways. Of this one, I think it was called like Safety Cone or something. This is Big Twist Rave, and it's a roving yarn. And it's like a orange and gray. Um, it's really beautiful, but it felts together almost instantly once you start crocheting with it. So, um, if you need to frog your stitches, good luck. Um, have fun. Just cut your work apart. So, I this is yarn that I actually brought with me. Of the skeins of yarn that I or the yarn that I brought with me to California when I was going into treatment originally, and didn't think I was going to be staying here. This is yarn that I brought, and then I started working with it, realized I couldn't frog with it, and kind of left it. I just haven't touched it at all. But it's taking up space, and I've been trying to figure out what I wanted to do with it. I had the idea of trying to run it through my knitting machine, but I don't think that's a good idea for several reasons. One, it's fairly thick. I would say it's on the high side of a four. Aaron, potentially even like a in some spots because it is roving. It is quite fuzzy, and I just don't I I just I've never seen anyone put this through a machine before. I don't even see that many people using it. So I think there's a lot of struggles with this yarn. Um, um, but this is what it looks like so far. So I'm working on the short row beanie from Baggy, the single crochet back only one. So this is okay. I'm just gonna throw shit everywhere. So this is it in the the bright stripe Red Heart Super Saver. Hello, hey Robert. Thanks for coming in. My brain's like Michael. I'm like no, Robert. So I don't know. My brain was like that's Robert. Thank you for coming in and saying hello. I appreciate it. I remember your name, I promise. But yeah, so this is this pattern is great for short striped yarn. This striping is a little bit longer. I'm not exactly sure how it's gonna turn out. I'm just looking for any reason to use this yarn. I was starting like a hammock that I could pin to um, the wall, um, so that I could use it as like a hammock to hold other. But I abandoned that just thought that if I'm gonna reattach it, that won't be much of a big deal. So anyways, it's been a happy day. The pattern, the hook is she's gone. She's that's so rude. Oh, something. So I did post about this uh like a week ago. But I made this LA Dodgers hat. Um, and I'm I'm so burnt out in making tutorials that I'm really trying to get myself to rally myself to do it again. Um, but if I do a tutorial, I'll try to do one for the LA symbol. So I made it in three pieces. Basically, what I did is I made this piece, this long piece that goes here, and then I made the frame of the A. The hat itself is just a bunch of double crochet top, and double crochet in the back loop, just to give it like something to break up like the exact same thing throughout. Thought it might look a little bit more interesting or something. I don't know. But the logo is huge. Um, what's the wrong way? It's huge, but it's it's there. This is the MVP yarn, and I really like it. It's pretty soft. It's definitely like in the like uh th- I don't know how to say like because Hirschner's has their like just worsted yarn, and that's not necessarily rough. It's just not necessarily the softest. And this, I feel like it's a step up. It's much softer. The color is really different and nice. I really like this yarn. It's just because it's variegated and it also switches very, very, very quickly. Um, like it's hard to finish a stitch um, with with one color before it changes. Um, so because of that, it does look extra busy. So I was like, when I ordered it, I was, oh, maybe I could do the short row with that. But no, it's like every like, length color is like 2 inches long or something like that. Seriously, where did you put that up? The hooks have legs. So I'm using a 5 millimeter for this project. Now the big this it has this very nice kind of lush quality to it, especially if you after you've been working with value acrylics, like pretty much exclusively do. And I do. usually really like roving, um, but I don't think I've ever had something that just felt it as this yarn does, and that makes it a little bit tricky. Uh, and so I still haven't fixed this, and we're almost 20 days past Halloween, so that's cool. I'll update it eventually. Wasn't expecting to go live. It's 31 there. No, I really like this pattern, and as far as I understand, short row beanies aren't exclusive to this specific pattern. So I think I want to do after I finish this is to look into other patterns so that um, I can see what else is cool. I imagine there's a lot of ways that it can be worked out, but I don't. As much as I have been really enjoying patterns and stuff lately, the idea, the or the thought of doing the math, finessing of shaping the top of the head, um, with this particular style is not something that I do. And that's because of how it comes up. Because you're working around like this rather than top down or bottom up, and then you have this your top that kind of looks like that. Now, when Bag a Day did her version, she did 6 sections. I don't know how my measurements came up so differently. I got her measurements exactly when I did 5 sections. And when I did 6, it was crazy huge. Um, so I'm just going with kind of what works and what fits and I think looks good. Um, and that is that. I could go down a hook size, but I still don't like because I mean that's 1/6 of the hat, right? To chop off. So I don't think going down a hook size even is going to or like be enough of a difference to you know I don't know. I just I don't know how it's that off for me, and clearly it's working for her, so I'm not quite sure about that. It would be cool to try to get it with different types of um, hook and yarn thickness combinations. Like, what's the word I'm looking for? Don't know. When I picked this one up and this skein up, and it doesn't have the tape on it, the tape. I think that I have one like right over there that does. So I could look at the content. Let me look at the yarn content because I can't remember if it's 100% acrylic or not. Sorry, oh, moving. And okay, so it's supposed to be premium acrylic. While I'm googling things. What makes premium acrylic different? It differs from standard acrylic due to higher quality fibers, resulting in superior softness, better drape, and more vibrant colors. Often has anti-pilling properties, is less likely to split, and can feel more like natural fibers like wool or merino. Interesting. There definitely is like a woolly texture to the yarn. They were able to, like, when you are using your acrylic yarn and like if you were to like split the ply, like the how thick that ply usually is for most acrylic yarn. This is a lot more like hair like. Now there is a core. One second. Now what's interesting is it does a core of like this thread. See that right there? And then you can see that it almost looks like one right there. But around it, I mean, inside of it is more probably to keep it strong. Um, because otherwise, I imagine very, very weak and would pull apart really. But by itself, it does not. It's to or trying to. I also it's weird. You can totally see it. You can see it as you're working with the yarn, but you can't really see it once it's worked up. Yeah, you can't really see it once it's worked up. But that inner that core thread is not done with the rest of the yarn. So it is Um, see it, and it doesn't really make much of a difference in this orange yarn, but I do know that there's some colorways that have black in them, and I wonder how much that shows up with the contrast of the white thread. Just thinking out loud. No, just rolled right. Yes, he was sleeping. He was so rude. I know. Sun's Any welcome in. I am working on a short row beanie. This is a bag a day. I'm using this big twist rave yarn because honestly, I don't know what else. I don't really like working with it. Um, but everyone and their mom has made this hat. And this is it with the big twist bright stripe. This one, I think. I it looks a little funky, but it sits fine on the head. But I I didn't need as many sections for some reason. I don't know if my gauge is just totally off or just been rolling with it. So yeah, this is a really fun pattern, and I think it's actually really, um, it's a backward pattern, which is taught really well and it's easy to understand. Uh, So I think this is my this will be my third one that I made. I made one in the retro stripe, so the rainbow, and then the stripe. But I just have had these lying around for so long, and I just don't know what to do with them. It's, it's just a tricky yarn to work with. What are you up to this morning? It's so weird for me to be up so early. My sleep schedule has been so upside down. The idea of me being awake in the morning is bizarre. Frankly, very bizarre. those are relatively short striping, yarns that I did, and then this one is a longer stripe. So I'm hoping that it works with this um, pattern. I don't think it'll be bad if it doesn't perfectly, but we can at least get all of the, um, uh, the orange on the gray, gray on the orange, that full rotation of color would be really nice, but I don't know if we'll make it. So we'll see. And yes, I'm going no. Uh, mhm. Yeah, because when she posted the pattern, she used the retro stripes, um, and so like they have like a I would, and I think she said they're pretty short striping, which I would agree that they're like you're fine. I can't type no matter where I'm at. So yeah, but sometimes doing it on your phone when you're shaky. I understand. No judgment. When she did it, I think she said that it was a she would consider it short yarn, and when she used the retro stripe, it's definitely better than that. Retro striping is easier to work with. You think? I'm always in, I'm always intimidated by it. So there's pretty much tons of yarn that I'm intimidated by, whether it be longer or shorter striping. I find it's just for me, it's harder to figure out what I'm gonna do with that. Okay, it always grabs me. It looks great. Like it looks cool. How can you not feel like this looks super cool? But then thinking about how your project's going to lay out is so much harder. I did use each stripe. I did a while ago, but I made the Lost Souls shop, and I used that color, and so when and you work from the bottom up. So what I did was I started using one skein and let that color transitions happen naturally, and then once I got a little further, once I got like halfway, I started doing color control where I would double the amount of the color. So like yellow, I would use like green, and use green, like whatever, so that it was like it's gonna transition color faster up top because it's white. So all of that stuff, and I'm like, not that, not that, like having to think about all of that stuff just stressed me out way more than it should have. It looked cool, and I was really happy with how it turned out, but oh my gosh, just like but yeah, any kind of variation or shaping or anything, and I'm like, I think usually it's the project itself that captures me, and much less the yarn itself. Even though I will go shopping and get yarn that I like, that looks pretty. It's it's too much. It's overwhelming. I sound like really emotional about this part. Obviously, that was super fake, but I don't know what's happening. I'm not that emotional about it. So, when you have longer striping yarn, what do you like to do with it? Like, teach me your ways, please. Interesting. Interesting. I haven't done Tunisian. I wanted to do more. I haven't done Tunisian. And then my knitting, I haven't done in a long time. And when I did, it was all pretty basic stuff. Um, 'Cause I'm just insanely slow at it. Just insanely slow. Hey, Winter, how are you? I mentioned you earlier. I was talking about the, I don't know, wrong with me. I have few whips and like I'm not working on them. I started a new whip in like the middle of the night. And I was like, oh, but I was working on my project for winter. Like, but I can't show it. So it's just believe kind of can't color control unless I'm doing windy from top to bottom. I like top to bottom hats a lot more too. That's my yeah. Color control is really nice. I didn't think when I first learned about color control, I did not expect that I would enjoy it and use it. I really need to change Nightbot, sorry. And I didn't expect, I just didn't expect that I would be like the person who would color control. I was like, that seems like way too much work. But it makes so much more sense when doing things in my mind. That's how I make stripes work for me too. Still in before. That's okay. I mean, as a designer, and like also like life too. Um, for me, I think I'm on row 10, and I'm doing like row 10 of like one of the small sections, and then like I'm doing the first section twice, and then the last section on the other side um, for promotion. That makes sense. I mean, it's very time consuming to make a full blanket. It's very consuming. I can't say that I would do it unless it was somehow doing less than that. I am really good at not doing things. I'm using the big twist yarn, which I don't really love. I love the colors a lot, but I just it's very, it just instantly gets, like, added to itself, and, like, falls to itself. So, um, this looks pretty cool, and it doesn't get me in trouble because it's really nice to crochet with. It's really nice to crochet with. It's just you just need to hope you don't mistake, which I would never make mistake. Already made it. I need a pillow insert. Mm, big white. Ooh, nice. That's something I haven't done in a while. A wall painting. Well, I guess I want, but it's called safety cone or something. And the tape is like there, I think, for it. I just don't have the ball band. It's lazy, and I have a pretty precarious camera situation going on here. So, but the way that this is changing color is just like doing things to my body that I didn't know I needed. It looks so cool. I love the marled, like in between the two solids, marled situation. It's so nice. For some reason, like this is the color that I decided to bring with me to California when I was going into treatment last October, like last year, and and I hadn't worked with the had to learn. This is not the art to try new projects with that I had kind of at least been enough to know that I wasn't gonna mess it up too bad. Fucked around, found out. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Sounds awful. Yeah. I hope that starts to feel better. I really don't know anything about the healing process of that, but I don't know if it heals itself. Oh my gosh. Ouch. So sorry. I hope we start to feel better. After hair and eye patch. But eye patches are cool, you know, not if you, like, you know, as a fashion statement. You know, if you just want to have it. Yeah, so just the breast is the big component. Sounds like. Thank you. Right back at you. You heal quickly. I so when I was watching this video by Bag a Day, where she, just, she did mention that this beanie took a while. But I feel like this is for me, this is like one of the fastest beanies that I've done. And I think part of it is that it's really easy to build rhythm on this project. And you can just really kind of get in the zone and pop this. I mean, it's the absolute fastest where double crochets and it's very standardized and you're just boom, like there. You have to count and also you're doing single crochets like all the way around. But it's not like you're doing some fancy stitch or anything like that. It's very really just find your flow. I need to. I'm gonna. I swear that I changed my mind before. I'm kind of like, what's going on here? I guess. Like, please get rid of the birthday fun one. It's not a birthday anymore. So I have a little bit more of the solid gray portion, so like this here, and then I'm going to go into some of the marled section. So it looks like I should at least get a little bit of everything. Never know, but it looks like I've been going pretty stir crazy with trying to be on the map with everything. It's just I have been just how do I say this without sounding like so? Um, been very lonely, I guess, the the actual way. Um, you know, I I posted a I did about this on YouTube where I was kind of talking about how like so much of a social interaction is with people on YouTube, and it's hard to do lives because it's that is kind of how I interact with humans almost so um, regularly. Um, and so to not have that, to not be doing live streams is much harder to get interaction. Does affect my mental health. It's this tough balance to figure out, well, what types of levels of interaction, interaction I can handle, and I guess any given point. Uh, and it was a weird, um, this weird thing. I don't know if that's saying to account. But yeah, I know that I need interaction, but in that place, no one will want to interact with me. And I know myself well enough that I, I don't want to put anyone in the position where they are on the receiving end. That could sound self-defeating or self-deprecating or something like that. But really, like, I'm not a fun person to be around in that state. And even like looking back the past couple weeks where I was already there and didn't notice it, there were some things that were making sense. Like I was a lot more irritable, a lot more just not not really with things um, the best way that I could. Um, and they might have been minor, felt minor, if you saw them, or maybe they didn't. Um, but to me, uh, they're much more noticeable, and um, that's the at everything. How was I behaving, and could I have avoided this and you know caught it earlier? You know, the big thing with I, maybe I talked about this in my video about bipolar. But with mania, it's stopping it before it starts, stopping it before it gets worse. It's about prevention and like early detection. And like sometimes you can't do that. Sometimes you're just boom, you're in it. Um, but the goal is to figure it out as quickly as possible and get the hell out of Dodge emotionally. And you know, I sometimes sometimes you figure it out faster. It's just it's not a foolproof method by any means. But since I've been coming down like adjustment uh, of everything, I just feel and like obviously like I didn't sleep last night, so I'm tired. But I do feel like so much. I just have no, and with being a lot of like how it like the after it's like some people they go up really high and then they swing really low afterwards, which can definitely happen more times than not. I just kind of get this like slightly low like plateau, just like feeling exhausted. Like I've used all my energy for dinner in that episode, and now I'm just kind of trying to survive on whatever stuff that I've got left because I don't really have anything uh, left. And so I feel like I'm I'm just trying to get by. Almost done with this section. These are the last two rows. The two, three rows. Yes, technically. Check to see when the prescription's ready. It says afternoon. Uh, shit. I just saw the price of my medication. What the fuck? It's never been. Holy shit. Okay. Oh, because I never get it at CVS. I never get it at CVS. Fucking Lord. Jesus. Well, don't tell me that. Wisdom is a 90. Okay, so that is 90 days supply. Oh, my goodness. Okay, well, that makes a little bit more sense. Well, actually, like $220. And even that, still, obviously, because that's one prescription out of my several. Whoa. Okay. Hold, please. He's very distressed at this time, too. Okay, well, I just saved myself like $170. Probably save more. I Shit's so expensive. It is expensive. Ooh, I almost had a fall out. My heart fell out of my ass. Like, just now. Oh my goodness. So I'll probably end this when I'm done with this section. such an interesting yarn. Building a roving yarn around this like core. Very strange indeed. Very strange. Here's a little section that kind of shows what I'm talking about. How like see that little white speck? Like that's that core just like peeking through. And it's so like it doesn't appear anywhere else. So if you didn't know the yarn, you didn't know that's what was going on, you would be like, why is that there? It looks like a bra cup. The colors are so pretty though. I love the gradient. They did a really cool job blending it and in the marl. But I think that's the word for it. I keep calling it marl. I think that's what it is. Monk. Bonk. It's showing I told you. Now that he's moving around and shit. Let's see. Oh, he's got the zoomies. I see it in his eyes. Got the zoomies. Okay, so this is what it looks like so far. You can see that it's gently starting to turn. The gray is starting to go back to the orange. And so this is where it is right now. With some of this is gray with like a little bit of orange, and then it starts to get more and more orange until it's orange with a little bit of gray. And then it goes back into the gray with some orange and then a solid gray. I don't think we're going to get through this whole with this hat, but that's okay because it still looks super cool. And then this is what it'll look like on my head, just like this, like a piece of greasy pizza, which for whatever reason is really hard for me to say. So thank you for hanging out this hour, and I appreciate it. And I will talk to you later. Bye.